The following is a live special presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and or future. All right, special doubleheader. I've got to be off the air in 2 hours, so we've already played the rest of the day in baseball. One of these weird weekends where the American League switched series from a Friday to a Saturday. So that's why there's no Texas-Baltimore from Friday night. Minnesota played Baltimore and Texas was in Boston, I think. But it doesn't really matter because Texas and Baltimore are about to play too next. Now, the rest of the Saturday in baseball. San Francisco 5, Pittsburgh 2. Vita Blue beats Burt by 11. The Pirates are now 6.5 back of Philadelphia. The Giants are 12 back of Los Angeles. Minnesota beats Boston in 10 innings. Sutton with a win. Bergmeyer with a loss. Randall 5 for 6 with a double. That was in 10 innings. Padres beat the Cubs 4-2. Randy Jones coming off his all-star start beats Dennis Lamp to go 11-6. St. Louis downs Los Angeles 7-2. Bob Forsch goes to 9-5 and hits his second home run of the year. Who needs a DH? We all need a DH. Anyway, the Dodgers lead over Houston is 9.5. We'll get to that in a minute. Oakland in 13 over Toronto 8-7. Dave Heverlo wins. He goes to 4-4. Brian Piccolo 2 for 5 with a homer. The A's pound out 16 hits. Atlanta stuns Philadelphia. Rick Camp gets the win. He gets his first of the year. Jim Cott with a loss. 7-4 the final there. Johnson with his first homer, or his third homer of the year. Cincinnati beats the Mets. Paul Moscow goes to 7-4. The Mets fall to 37-52. Craig Swan got the win in the All-Star game. Couldn't beat the Reds 4-0. Pete Rose 4 for 4 with a double. The Royals, who you'll see tomorrow, beat the Yankees 8-3. Dennis Leonard 13-3 on the year. Amos Otis with 2 home runs. Montreal shuts out Houston 7-0. Woody Fryman goes to 3-0. The Expos pound out 17 hits. Woody Fryman throws a 3-hitter, and Andre Dawson goes 4 for 5 with a 17th homer. Milwaukee has cut the lead in the East to half a game as they beat the White Sox in 10 innings. Larry Sorensen, the major's first 15-game winner. Detroit stuns California 10-9. They pound out 17 hits. Milt Wilcox goes to 6-7. Cleveland over Seattle 4-3. Jim Paxton goes to 8-4. Johnny Grubb with his 12th of the year. That's the rest of the day in baseball. Now, over the next 2 hours, live and in stereo and color, it's the Orioles and the Rangers next, as Retro Sports Network presents an MLB doubleheader today from Memorial Stadium in Baltimore. Doyle Alexander against Denny Martinez as Retro Sports Network presents Major League Baseball Replay 78. The first place Baltimore Orioles and the second place Texas Rangers. Brought to you by DigitalDice.com, the best darn podcast on the internet for your sports simulations and replay needs. Find us today at District on Deck. Oh, Ron, that was an old job of yours. Find us today. Ricky will get a kick out of that. Find us today at Digital Dice. That's the word T-O, DigitalTO.Dice.com. And so that's the rushed intro. Denny Martinez looking for his 10th win of the year. Doyle Alexander trying to get things going for the Rangers, who are 46-39. The Orioles are 50-37. And because Kansas City already beat New York, they are in a flat-footed tie. So the Orioles can be one up, they can be one back, or they could be still kissing the Yankees for first place in the American League East. Let's get to it, shall we? Solar opposites, and Jamie's ready for 2. How are you? So Denny Martinez is 9-9 on the year. He's making his 22nd start. He is with an ERA of 3.70. He's a fastball pitcher and a ground ball plus pitcher. And he has not faced the Rangers this year. This is his first appearance in a week. He pitched last Saturday against Kansas City. We might have done that game. 9 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts. So overall, 151 innings, 146 hits, 70 runs, 10 homers, 62 earned, 60 walks, 81 strikeouts. And so as he takes his warm-up tosses, Bobby Bonds will lead it off in right field for the Rangers. Juan Benitez is in center. He'll bat second. Jim Sundberg behind the plate will go third. Al Oliver, the DH, will clean up. Mike Hargrove, the human rain delay at first, will bat fifth. Kurt Pavakwas at third. Say a novena for the Rangers. He'll bat sixth. John Lowenstein is in left field. He'll go seventh. Bump Wills at second will bat eighth. And Jim Mason, there ain't no good guy. There ain't no bad guy. There's just you and me, and we just disagree. Will bat ninth and play short. Doyle Alexander on the mound. He will throw 115 pitches. Pat Kelly is a 5-3 in left. Larry Harlow a 6-5 in center. Kenny Singleton a 6-7 in right. Doug DeCinces a 7 at third. Mark Belanger a 10 at short. Rich Dower a 6 at second. Eddie Murray a 6 at first. And Skaggs is a 4-7 in game one behind the plate. Denny Martinez an 8 on the mound with a .987 fielding percentage. That's pretty good. I am fine. I'm going to kind of not pay attention to chat. We really only have an hour 55 to get these two games in. I don't know. These pitched a long time. Remember, Mark, that you're throwing a lot harder because you're only supposed to go the 18-20 batters. They pitched a lot softer then. Early start for the doubleheader. We're going to get both in, but we got to be done by 1:30 Eastern. Bobby Bonds at 252, 9 homers and 37 RBI. Martinez delivers on a hot night in Baltimore. Strike 3. Swung on and missed. 88 degrees. Winds blowing in from right at 5. Good-sized crowd here in Baltimore. Here's Benitez at 249, 4 homers and 17 RBI. And there's a base hit up the middle, past a diving Dower, and that's the first hit of the ball game. Rangers looking for win 47. The Orioles are looking for win 51. My guess is we split. Jim Palmer goes game 2 for the Orioles against Doc Medic. Jim Sundberg at 269, 3 homers and 23 RBI. It's the first of 3 scheduled doubleheaders over the next 2 weeks. Pitch to Sundberg. Strike as Benitez tried to go but couldn't. So it's an 0-1 count. Got him. He swung on and missed an 88-mile-an-hour fastball. So that's 2 for Denny. And now I'll bring up Al Oliver. I'm surprised he didn't make the All-Star team. Hitting .312, 8 homers, and 43 RBI. Settling in with my homemade gyro and an Honor Palmer. Nice. I got my Dunk's iced coffee. We had breakfast or had lunch outside today because it's beautiful here in Burlington. Pitch to Oliver. There goes Benitez. A throw down to Belanger, and that's it. So the side is retired. No runs, 1 hit, and no errors. We played half an inning on this July 15th. Texas nothing. Here comes Baltimore. One of the rare cases where the American League switched series 2 days over a weekend. Friday and Saturday, a lot of these series were different. So here's Doyle Alexander looking for his 8th win of the year. He is 7-8 with a 3.64 ERA. Making start number 18. He would only make 10 more starts after this. He has 1 start against Baltimore. He went 6 1/3 innings. No decision. 4 hits. 2 runs, both earned. He walked 2 and struck out 2. His last start was against his future home, the Tigers. 7 1/3 innings, 6 hits, a walk, and 4 strikeouts. He's a fastball pitcher. He's a flyball pitcher at 88. 111 1/3 innings. 107 hits, 51 runs, 45 earned. He walked 38, struck out 47. And here's the lineup that Earl Weaver will send out in Game 1. Larry Harlow in center field will bat first. Rich Dower will bat second and play second. Kenny Singleton in right will bat third. Terry Crowley, the DH, cleans up. Pat Kelly in left will go fifth. Doug DeCinces, who did get in the All-Star game, so did not get the crummy I got sent to San Diego, and all I got was a lousy T-shirt prize. He'll bat sixth. Eddie Murray will bat seventh, and that is a surprise big clue, and play first. Mark Belanger hitting eighth at short, and which just tells you what they think of Skaggs behind the plate, batting ninth. Defensively for the Rangers in Game 1, Lowenstein is a 2 and a 4 and left. Oy vey. Juan Beniquez is a 9 and a 7 in center. Bobby Bonds is 7 and an 8 in right. Kurt Bavacqua is a 6 at third, but his fielding percentage makes Butch Hobson look like a Gold Glover. Jim Mason isn't much better. He's a 4 at short. Yeah, the Orioles should never have let Gritch go away. Bump Wills, a 7 at second. Mike Hargrove at 8 at first. Jim Sundberg at 10 and a 9 behind the plate. Alexander an 8 on the mound with a 9.31 fielding percentage. Harlow at 263, 7 homers, and 37 RBI. I think, Jamie, that hurt more. Losing Baylor. Who'd they get in return? That had to have been a trade. Gritch and Baylor for who? Anyway, I told you Harlow's numbers. Alexander's pitch, strike 3. Swing and a miss on an 0-2. So 1 out for Dower at 227. A home run and 19 RBI. Wind's blowing in from right at 5, 88 degrees. Warm night in Baltimore for 2. Pitch to Rich is a ground ball to Bavacqua. Over to Hargrove. Dower running and beat it out because Bavacqua pulled Hargrove off the bag. And so playing Bavacqua at third has already had dividends for Baltimore. So runner on first and 1 out for Singleton. At 3:10, he earned his All-Star start. 14 homers and 33 RBI. Well, they won the division in 74, right? And then the Red Sox in 75, the Yankees 76 through 78, and the Orioles won it in 79 and won 100 games in 80 and didn't make it. Pitch to Singleton is popped up left side. Bavacqua, they'll glove this one. Oh, he dropped it! He dropped it. They did not call the infield fly rule, and Bavacqua's made 2 errors in the inning. So Alexander should be out of this unscathed. Instead, Dower on second, Singleton on first. Yeah, they'd have given the Yankees 75 to 82 a run for their money. Here's Terry Crowley at 207 and 3 RBI. Only had 95 at-bats for the Orioles in 78. Pitch from Alexander, ball 4. And Doyle is stewing on the mound like a can of Denny Moore. Here's Pat Kelly at 352, 6 homers, and 18 RBI. Bavacqua can blow all the bubbles he wants at third. These runners are all his. Pitch to Kelly. Up the middle, a base hit. Dower scores. They'll play station-to-station baseball, 1-0 Baltimore. And that'll bring up DeCinces at 260, 15 homers, and 45 RBI. So, yeah, imagine the Orioles with Gritch and DeCinces in the lineup every day, and Baylor. The Red Sox with their lineup, and don't forget Milwaukee's really good. The American League East would have been stacked. Oh, Baylor went to Oakland the first time for Jackson and Holtzman. Okay. Interesting. Baylor would play for Oakland in the late 80s, too. Okay. So the bases are loaded for DeCinces. Oh, free agent in 77. So the same thing as Reggie. 1 year and then free agent. Pitch to DeCinces is a line drive to Mason, who makes the catch. 2 out. For Eddie Murray, batting 7th at .296. 15 homers and 69 RBI. Runners go, ground ball to Wills, over to first, and the Rangers survive. And I do mean they survive. The Orioles leave them loaded. Earl reaching for the Chesterfields. They did get a run. They got a hit, 2 errors, but they leave them loaded. After 1-0 Baltimore. So Oliver at the plate, .312. 8 homers, 43 RBI, was on at the plate when the first inning ended. Beniquez was thrown out trying to steal. Ground ball, base hit right side. Dowler couldn't make it. And that'll bring up Hargrove. At .293, 5 homers and 37 RBI. Denny deals. Struck him out. Got him on a 2-2 changeup, and that's 3 for El Presidente, and that'll bring up Bavacqua. At 169, a homer and 12 RBI. Pitch, ground ball to third. DeCinces to Dower for 1, over to Murray, and that should retire the side. It does. He gets the pitcher's best friend. Around the horn they go. We go to the bottom of the second. 1-0 Orioles. So Bellinger at .223, no homers, and 20 RBI. Skaggs and Harlow to follow. Alexander threw 29 pitches to get out of the first. Into center, Beniquez, 1 out. Dave Skaggs at the plate. Dave at 119. No homers and 3 RBI. Skaggs hits a ground ball to Wills. Over to Hargrove. 2 out. So an easier second for Alexander. Inning in 2/3. 9 batters on 35 pitches. A hit, an unearned run, a walk, and a strikeout. Harlow was the strikeout victim. He's 0 for 1. Nobody on. Bottom of the second. Yep, usually they were called twilight doubleheaders or twilight doubleheaders. First game would be at 4:35. 2.5 hours, and the second game would start about 8. Be a half-hour break between the games. Pitch to Harlow. Struck him out. An 0-2 on the outside corner, and Alexander has a clean inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. After 2, Baltimore 1, Texas nothing. So Lowenstein, Wills, and Mason for the Rangers here in the third. Early start for the doubleheader. Kurt Bavacqua made 2 errors. Pat Kelly had an RBI single, and so in the third, it's 1-0 Baltimore. You're joining us early. Lowenstein, 247, 5 homers, and 17 RBI. Last doubleheader Jamie went to is right here at Memorial Stadium back in 1989. They'll do them sometimes. Technically, any game that starts after 5:30 local is a night game. But they don't want separate. They don't want to lose a night at the gate, so that's why most doubleheaders today are split admission. Play one at 1 and the second at 7. Have time to clear the stadium. Lowenstein to center. Harlow is there. 1 out. Bump Wills at 247. 8 homers and 24 RBI. Murray and DeCinces played for the bunt. Yeah, the Orioles were tremendous. Remember, they won the division in 74, finished second between 75 and 77. They finished third or fourth behind in 78, and then back again from 80 to 82 in second place, under 5 games back in all but one season. Andrews got a brick from Memorial Stadium. I don't know. I mean, they made the World Series in 79. We've talked about this before. Yeah, they probably go to the World Series, but they went to 4 under Weaver and only won 1, and they blew 2 3-1 leads in 2 of those. Playing for the bunt, Wills, ground ball to Belanger in front of the bag at second, over to Murray for the out. It's one of those great what-ifs, you would think. And Big Lou's a big fan of those. He sent me, by the way, the most lovely thing. He sent me a spreadsheet of all the expansion teams and when they made the playoffs the first time, and you can just tell the effect of television on sports. Appa Chowder's last designated hitter was Easter 1986 at Riverfront. Mike Scott was on the cover of Sport the following year. We think, oh, really? Scott was Scott's monster year. We are a family of fluke. I think the whole thing with postseasons is it's who's hot at the right time. They certainly were favored to beat the Reds. So here's Jim Mason, 215, no homers, and 2 RBI. Martinez kicks and deals into left. Kelly has it for the out. We played 2.5, no runs, no hits, no errors. It's still Baltimore 1, Texas nothing. That's right, they had a lot of rain in the 79 series. So, no, I'm not a fan of the Brave style. I think of Bobby Cox the same way I think of Earl Weaver. I think if you're going to get to the playoffs that many times, you need to have something on your resume to show for it. And the fact that the Braves only won 1 out of all those trips, it doesn't go back to talent. Dower, by the way, 0 for 1 with a run scored. It'll be Singleton and Crowley to follow. Yep. That 1990 team, hottest team you ever saw. And Rio was the hottest player. The only team I think that Buffalo is better than going into those Super Bowls would be the Giants. Yep. Football's a different animal, though, and a one-game thing. And I covered Dusty Baker for a year and a half. I love Dusty Baker. But you got to win the big game. Oh, and the 70s were tough. Absolutely. Pitch to Dower is into left center. Back goes Beniquez. That's off the wall. Dower's going for 2. He's in there standing. So the second hit for the Orioles. Now bring up Kenny Singleton, who's 0 for 1. Bottom of the third. 1-0 Baltimore. Struck him out. Got him on an off speed on an 0-2. Swung on and missed. For Crowley, who walked his first time. 4 teams won 9 of the 10 World Series in the 70s. So who were they? The Orioles, the Reds, the A's, the Yankees, and the Pirates twice, 71 and 79. The Orioles were the only team that won 1. Everyone else had multiple World Series wins. To give Weaver and Cox the benefit of the doubt, and La Russa to some degree, pitch to Crowley. Up to Alexander, and Doyle can't get a glove on it. Third error for the Rangers, and so Crowley's on first, Dower on third. 1 out for Kelly, who has an RBI single. So the Rangers are not covering themselves in clover in the field. Pitch to Kelly is a fly ball to right. Bonds will let it go foul down the right side. Somebody from Laurel coming in from the track, made his bet and made the catch. Count is 0-2. Struck him out. Got him on an 87-mile-an-hour fastball swinging. So 2 out for DeCinces, who's 0 for 1. Pitch to Doug, ball 4. So they're loaded. So Dower on third, Crowley on second, DeCinces on first for Eddie Murray, who's 0 for 1. Oh yeah, La Russa's A's team's definitely underachieved. How that 88 team lost to the Dodgers is beyond me. Pitch to Murray is a line drive left field. Lowenstein makes the catch, and the Orioles leave them loaded for the second time in 3 innings. No runs, a hit, and 1 error. After 3, Baltimore 1, Texas nothing. I don't think the Mets took the Dodgers seriously. And back then, and even in a best of 7, Tommy knew he was going to be able to go with Hershiser 3 times. And he did. You talk about the 86 Mets. Hey, I'm not playing the Red Sox. That's why they're barely 500. Bobby Bonds, by the way, struck out his first time up. So through 9 batters, Martinez 35 pitches, 3 innings, 2 hits, and struck out 3. The Mets knew to a player in 86 that if they had to face Scott in Game 7, they weren't beating him. They had to win that in 6. And I think that opened up the door a bit for what happened in the World Series. Because, let's be honest, the Mets should have swept the Red Sox. And I would have been fine with that. Winning the first 2 at Shea changed everything. Pitch to Bonds. Struck him out. Got him on a 1-2 on the inside corner. That's the 4th for Denny. Davey was a good manager. They ran into buzzsaws. He won in Cincinnati. He won in Baltimore. He won in New York. He strikes me, though, that he'd have been a better bench coach. But he gets 1 for 1. He singled. This time he strikes out. He got a 2-2 on the inside corner. And that's 5 for Martinez, and there's 2 out for Sundberg, who was 0 for 1. He struck out. 1-0 Baltimore. One of those games that if Texas can get something going, Baltimore has shut the barn door twice when it was wide open for them. To Dower. Diving stop over to first. That will retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the bottom of the 4th. 1-0 Orioles. So Belanger, Skaggs, and Harlow to face Alexander. Yes, I believe you're right. Davey Johnson was with Atlanta when Aaron broke Ruth's record, and with the Yomiuri Giants when Sadahara'o broke his. Big Clue says that Davey belongs in Cooper's. He's a very good second baseman, too. Won everywhere off great teams. Yep. I think he lost the clubhouse, though, in the Mets. That's probably the only job he deserved to lose, but the rest of them, I think he was fine. Pitch to Belanger. Struck him out. That's 5 for Alexander, and Belanger swung on and missed a 1-2 fastball. Here's Skaggs. He's 0 for 1. He was good with it. I forgot. That's right. And yes, the Nats are notoriously fickle about managers. Pitch to Skaggs. Struck him out. We got a good morning. We got a good afternoon there. Swung on and missed a 86. So that brings up Harlow, who struck out twice. Pitch. And there's a ground ball to Wells. Over to Hargrove from the bag to first. And that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. After 4, Orioles 1, Rangers nothing. So Martinez will face Oliver, Hargrove, and Bavacqua. Will do the break between games. Okay? So the wind now howling in from right at 14. And it's 85 degrees here as we start the top of the fifth. Oliver singled his first time up. Line drive, left center. Harlow's gonna dive. And makes the catch on the grass. That was a sinking liner, and Harlow had that lined up one away. For Hargrove, who struck out his first time up. So a good pitcher's duel here as we play the first of two from Baltimore. Remember, tomorrow at noon, 9 Pacific, it'll be the Royals and the Yankees from Yankee Stadium. To Belanger. Over to first for the out. 2 out for Bavacqua, who grounded into a double play and has committed 2 errors in this ball game. It only rained in the second game, Robbie. It's still early. You never know. Wind is howling in. Oh, Glory blowing towards home. To third, DeCinces across the way to Murray, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. We're halfway home. It is Baltimore 1 and Texas nothing. Normally we do the break. I want to keep this short. Keep your thoughts for Dale Lonsdale, a Patreon of mine, and a regular on the night the chat and on the YouTube and Twitch. Dale is under the weather in Ohio, and we're wishing him the very best. Our thoughts are with you, buddy, and fight the good fight. We hope to see you soon. Thanks, I got a haircut. Don't you chat with it. I think it only credits me with 1 view. I don't, because it's going out with the same IP address, I don't think it really matters. It'll be Dower, Singleton, and Crowley to face Alexander here in the bottom of the fifth. Dower 1 for 2, a double, and a run scored. I got all my hairs cut this morning. It's a nice thing about home health being able to come back, and they can do that. Pitch to Dower is a ground ball. Wills by the bag at second. Over to first. I forgot to take a drink, 1 out. That's a nice thing about being able to take clippers to your hair. If you were with us yesterday, when we featured 2 National League teams, no, we didn't. I forgot we had yesterday. You would have known that this was a doubleheader, and we started at 11:30. There's another game to go after this. 1-0 Orioles in the bottom of the fifth. Kurt Bavacqua 2 errors and an RBI single by Pat Kelly is how we got here. Singleton is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Pitch to Ken is a line drive to second, and Wills will make the catch. Dodgers won on Friday. They lost today. We've already played the rest of the day in baseball because I do got to be out of here in 90 minutes. But the lead is still 9.5 over Houston. Orioles and Yankees are tied for first. Terry Crowley walked and is 0 for 1. Alexander's pitch up the middle, a base hit. And the Orioles, and by the way, that was mishandled by Wills, but Crowley doesn't advance. Actually, the ball hit Wills' glove and bounced into center field, but they give Crowley a hit. So 2 out for Kelly, who is 1 for 2. He is singled and struck out. 3 hits for the Orioles here in Game 1. 2 for Texas. And yep, have you got the porn stashes to go with it? Pitch to Kelly is a base hit right center field. Crowley will round third. He'll hold, and Kelly's on with a double. Yeah, we hope Dale gets better, and hopefully that you're doing okay too. So, doubleheader today, single game tomorrow, and then we're off Saturday. Hugh Phillips, 1966, is follower 107 on the Twitch. The sensei is walked. He's 0 for 1. Oh, good. Glad to know. Pitch to Doug is a line drive to left. Lowenstein makes the catch, and that will retire the side. The Orioles have left 8 runners on. No runs, 2 hits, and no errors. We go to the 6th, 1-0 in game 1. So Lowenstein, Wills, and Mason to face Martinez, who's cruising right along through 5. Into center, Harlow, 1 out. Bump Wills is 0 for 1. Murray and DeCinces coming in for the bunt. Texas has been held to 2 hits. To short, Belanger. To first, 2 out. So Martinez finishing his 18th batter here as we start, or with 2 outs in the 6th. Jim Mason's 0 for 1. From the wind, foul. And somebody from Bowie made that catch. And the count is 0-2. Pitch to Mason. Up the middle, a base hit. So only the 3rd hit for the Rangers. That'll bring up Bonds. Bobby has struck out twice. So 72 pitches deep from Martinez. 5 2/3 innings, 3 hits, and 5 strikeouts. Cruising right along. Jim Palmer and Doc Medic in game 2. Pitch to Bobby. Struck him out. Got him. He got on the outside corner, and he whiffed again. No runs, a hit, no errors. We go to the bottom of the 6th in game 1. 1-0 Baltimore. Festus Appachatter loves his Arnold Palmers, especially when the ratio is perfect. Great summertime drink. I'm playing golf. Lorenzo's doing some Eve, so quasi-lurk mode. I haven't played Eve in forever. Well, since I haven't played in about 6 weeks, he's going to look a long time. Murray's 0 for 2, and there's a fly ball to left. Lowenstein is there for the out. Here's Belanger. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Yeah, warm enough where you are to be a year-round delight. Pitch to Belanger is into left field. Lowenstein has it for the out. So 2 out here in the bottom of the 6th for Dave Skaggs, who's 0 for 2. Got a nice note from somebody yesterday, by the way. Pitch from to Skaggs is a ground ball to Hargrove. Takes it to the bag, and that will retire the side. So the Orioles go down in order. We've played 6, 1-0 Baltimore. And the usual, I sound like Scully. I have no idea why you'd say that. Farmer John will tell you that the lineup is Juan Beniquez, Jim Sundberg, and Al Oliver to face Denny Martinez here in the 7th. Anyway, but every once in a while, I'll ask Madam Speaker a question during a game, such as, what's the weather? And I forget that if I ask my Madam Speaker a question, now we do this to Steve all in fun during the support chats at night, I forget that if you have one in the same room as your computer, it asks your Madam Speaker a question. And so apparently I keep setting off other people's Madam Speakers. And I'm sorry. At least I'm asking it the weather. The thing is, Lorenzo, you got to play to blow me up. Beniquez is 1 for 2 with a strikeout. That base hit was a single. 3 hits for the Rangers, 4 for Baltimore. Martinez starts the 7th with a base hit into right center field. Beniquez will hold at first. Fourth hit for the Rangers. That brings up Sundberg, who's 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Ground ball to third. To Sensei Dower for 1. They throw to first. Do they get Sundberg? Yes, they do. 5, 4, 3. The Orioles go around the horn. And now bring up Oliver, who was 1 for 2. Got himself a single. Game 2 of our doubleheader next. We've already played the day in baseball. The Dodgers lose to the Cardinals. The Reds won, and the Astros were shut out. Kansas City beat the Yankees, so the Orioles and Yankees are in a flat-footed tie. Pitch to Oliver. Ground ball to short. Belanger across the way, and that will retire the side. Stretch time. Lenny Barker coming in to pitch for Doyle Alexander. We'll be back in a moment. So it'll be Larry Harlow, Rich Dower, and Ken Singleton to face Lenny Barker. Barker looks like someone who knows where the secret weed stash is. Lenny making appearance number 21. They lose him for the year on September 3rd. He is 1 3 with a save and an ERA of 5.28. He has faced Baltimore now 4 times and not very well. 2 2/3 innings, only 3 hits, but 6 runs, all earned. He walked 3 and struck out 3. He is 0-2. He faced the Red Sox on Thursday, the 13th, went an inning, allowed 3 hits, a run, it was earned. No decision. 29 innings, 30 hits, 3 home runs, 19 runs in total, 17 earned. He's walked 25 and struck out 20. Ground ball pitcher, and the fastball tops down at 94. Pitch count was close to his expected pitch count number. I'll show you this. He was at 109, and I think his pitch count was 125. He also faced 27 batters. Steve, what did you use to record? There are pitch counts. There's always pitch counts in Action PC. Sometimes it can be 150, but the game does try to simulate fatigue. Basically, it just takes the matter of batters faced and divides it by the innings pitched, and then just randomly does some mumbo-jumbo to get a pitch count. J.R. Richard, I've seen at 160. It's not an exact science, it's just to give it enough variability. Harlow, by the way, is 0 for 3. Has struck out twice. Barker walks him, so Harlow will reach on a 3-1 count, and that'll bring up Rich Dower, who scored, doubled, 1 for 3. Yeah, I use XSplit. That's what I'm using for this. And I have a pause button. And boy, does that pause button come in handy. Pitch or throw to first, Harlow back. Earl Weaver laughing. Orioles have stranded 8 runners, by the way. Texas just 1. Got away from Sundberg, and Harlow's going to go to second on the wild pitch. So down to 84 degrees here in Baltimore. Warm night for game 1. So the count is 2-1 to Dower. Harlow in scoring position. Pitch. Struck him out. Got him on a 2-2 fastball and a late called strike 3. So 1 out for Singleton, who was 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Barker. And they're going to give Singleton 4 wide ones. That's a smart play. They're going to pitch to Terry Crowley, who was 1 for 2 with a walk. And who have I got that can hit a righty? We're going to pinch hit the third time through. Carlos Lopez, the DH now. He's only hitting 144 with 2 homers and 6 RBI, but he hits righties at a 286 clip. And if you look at Barker, his split against righties is at 326. Not at all. Dower, 1 game hitting a 2 inning double plays, and after the second time, Earl said to him, "Don't you ever strike out?" Pitch to Lopez. There's a base hit in the right field. Harlow will round third. Bluff. They're not going to run on Bonds, and they're loaded for Pat Kelly. Pause button doesn't work in a live game. It just pauses the stream. So Kelly has doubled, singled, struck out, and given up or driven in a run. As the Orioles have got the Rangers on the ropes here in Game 1. Pitch from Barker. Ground ball to Wills. Only play is to first. They get Kelly. Harlow will score. Everybody else moves up 90, and it's 2-0 Baltimore. So that brings up the Sensei, who is 0 for 2 with a walk. 2 runs, 5 hits for the Birdies. They've left 8 on. The Rangers, 4 hits, no runs, and 3 errors. They've not been their own best friends today, and they've only left 1 on. The Sensei 0 for 2. Not anymore. Ground ball left side base hit. Singleton scores. Lopez scores. Barker is getting the hook. Jim Umbarger coming in. It's 4-0 Baltimore. So the lefty Umbarger, who was out of starts this year, everything else he does the rest of the way will be out of the pen. He is 2-4 with an ERA of 4.62 on the year. His third appearance against the Birds, 1 start, second out of the pen, 4 2/3 innings, 7 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned. He's walked 2 and struck out 4. Ground ball pitcher, fastball at 91 with an 0-1 record. He went 3 2/3 against the Red Sox on the 13th. 5 hits, 2 runs, no decision, 1 earned and a strikeout. Yep, Barker threw that improbable perfect game in 81. So Umbarger, 60 1/3 innings, 70 hits, 6 homers, 35 runs, 31 earned. He walked 31 and struck out 46. Dallas Braden comes to mind. And those might be the 2 most improbable. Well, Don Larson, he was a 56 and 57 career pitcher. Well, a right around 500 pitcher. I think I always underestimate his win-loss record. But Jamie's right, you guess in a way all perfect games are. Murray's 0 for 3. Umbarger's pitch struck him out. But Baltimore has done the damage. 3 runs on 2 hits and no errors. They strand another runner after 7, 4-0 O's. It's hard to believe, though, if you look at the fact that Lenny Barker and Dallas Braden threw perfect games, that Roger Clemens and Pedro Martinez never threw a no-hitter. And yeah, if you look at Larson, because this was in the middle of a World Series against the Dodgers lineup that was loaded, that might have been the most improbable one of all. Here's Hargrove. Mike is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. To short. Over to first. Hargrove can run, and that's a bad throw. Belanger pulled Murray off the bag, and that's the first Oriole error. So Hargrove is on for Kurt Bavacqua, who's 0 for 2 and grounded into a double play. Martinez delivers, struck him out. That's 7. A beautiful rainbow curve on an 0-2, swung on and missed. Yep, just goes to show how much one game's performance are a fluke. Here's Lowenstein. John is 0 for 2. And that's up the middle, might be 2. Dower to Belanger for 1, and there's no throw to first. So they get Hargrove. 4-6 on the force. Yep, look at half the guy who threw perfect games. Some weren't even good pitchers. Again, Barker, a journeyman, although he was an all-star in 81. And Braden, probably going to be better known for his television work. It'd be like Bob Uecker hitting for the cycle, you know. Bump Wills is 0 for 2. Yep. There's no hitter against the Cubs. We're talking about Jim Maloney. The 9th and 10th inning are on YouTube. They saved the tape. He threw I think he threw around 200 pitches. Throw to first, Lowenstein back. 2 out. Scooter Jeanette hit. Scooter's one of those caraway seeds that gets stuck in between your teeth. Annoying as anything, but powerful. Yeah, and the fact that Rocket Clemens threw 220 strikeout games is extremely impressive. Scherzer did it. Scherzer's got 2 no-hitters and a 20 strikeout game, too. Pitch to Wills is into center field. Harlow will go back and make the catch, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, and 1 error. But Texas does not score. Bottom of the 8th, 4-0 Orioles. Marked, hard hit, and went in a 4-home run game. Belanger, by the way, 0 for 3 with the strikeout. They wouldn't throw so many strikeouts if they threw more complete games. Although Scherzer, I think, would be a bulldog no matter what. Jim Maloney from Fresno, California. Belanger strikes out. Umbarger has struck out both the men he's faced. This time he swung and missed at an 88-mile-an-hour fastball. Dave Skaggs will catch all of Game 1. I'm sure he's not catching Game 2. 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Appachatter says Scherzer threw his 2 of the season. Domino's had the pizza giveaway for no-nos. My wife still calls him Pizza Man. Yeah, I think between 76 and 93, the game was in very good balance. Jamie says Lou Gehrig is the only player he ever had on the tabletop to hit 4 homers in a game. I've never had that. Certainly won't be Skaggs. Ground ball to Hargrove. Takes it to the bag. And that will be the second out. 40 homers led the league. 70-80 stolen bases leads the league. Saw lots of complete games and shutouts. Had some good bullpens, too. And yeah, I'm with you guys. That's my sweet spot for baseball. Larry Harlow, by the way, 0 for 3. And do we have a center fielder? Well, we'll pinch hit Lee May. 261, 16 homers, and 58 RBI. Yeah, collusion really changed a lot of things. Umbarger deals, ball 4. So 2 out for Dower. Doubled, 1 for 4, struck out and scored a run. Ground ball to Bavacqua, over to Wills, and that will retire the side. So we go to the 9th in Game 1. No runs, no hits, and no errors. After 8, 4-0 Baltimore. So Mike Anderson will make a cameo in center field. He's only a 2 out there, but he has a decent arm of 7. Martinez trying to go the distance. Mason maybe. He's 1 for 2. Bonds and Beniquez for sure. Yeah, only 1 repeat champ from 79 to 92. And would you have guessed that was the Los Angeles Dodgers? Pitch to Mason. Ground ball to first. Murray underhands it to Martinez for the out. So one away for Bonds. Bobby 0 for 3 has struck out 3 times. Denny, 104 pitches, 8 1/3 innings, 27 batters, and 7 strikeouts. He's thrown a gem. And unless it goes awry in the next 2 batters, he's our digitaldice.com player of the game. Bonds is 0 for 3 into right field. Singleton makes the catch on the track. And we're down to the last chance saloon here in game 1. So Juan Beniquez, 2 for 3, is singled twice with a strikeout. Martinez deals to DeCinces at third, over to first, and that will retire the side. Ball game over. The Orioles win the first of this twilighter 4-0. So Martinez goes to 10-9. 9 innings, 4 hits, and 7 strikeouts. He threw 112 pitches and had an expected pitch count of 135. Alexander didn't give up an earned run, but his pitch count was only going to be 117. So Lenny Barker kind of pooped the bed there. So, in 30 seconds or so, game 2. The Orioles are in first by half a game right here on Retro Sports Network. All right, game 2 of our doubleheader. Boy, that didn't feel like a half hour, did it? It'll be Jim Palmer going against Doc Bennett. And this is probably closer to what the Orioles lineup should have looked like against the Rangers. Let's tell you about Palmer. His 2 innings in the All-Star game won't matter. Making his 21st start of the year, he is a Woolworth record, 5 and dime, 10-5 on the year with a 1.96 ERA. He has faced the Rangers twice. This is his 3rd time out. He has no record, an ERA of 2.19. 12 1/3 innings, 10 hits, 3 runs, all earned. He's walked 6 and struck out 10. Lorenzo jinxing the Dodgers in the chat. His last time out in a game that mattered was July 6th against the Blue Jays. 7 innings, 5 hits, 4 runs, 3 earned, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts, and a no decision. 156 innings, only 111 hits allowed, 8 home runs. 39 runs, 34 earned. He's walked 40, struck out 71. The fastball at 32 only tops out at 86. Here's the lineup he'll face in game 2. Bobby Bonds will lead off in right field. Juan Beniquez in center will bat second. John Lowenstein, the left fielder, bats third. Al Oliver cleans up as a DH. Mike Hargrove, first baseman Hargrove, will bat fifth. Kurt Bavacqua back at third. There's something not about a Bavacqua Velvet Man. And bat 6, Ellis behind the plate in game 2. Maury. Bump Wills. Not the first time Bump heard that over the years, is it? Second baseman will bat 8th, and Bert Campaneris at short will bat 9th. Changes defensively for Baltimore in game 2. Mora a 5-4 and left. Kiko Man Garcia a 4 at short. No Belanger in game 2. And Dempsey a 5 and a 7 behind the plate. Palmer is a 10 on the mound. And so here are the standings. Up to the second standings, Texas with a loss falls to a game and a half behind Kansas City. California 2 back, Chicago 3, Minnesota 3.5. In the East, Baltimore now a half game over the Yankees, a game over Milwaukee, and 7 over Boston, 8 over Cleveland. So with all that, we got 61 minutes to play this game. Bobby Bonds, 248. The Math Wizards did all the stats up between games. 9 homers and 37 RBI. Palmer starts game 2 with ball 4. So Bonds is on with a walk. Full count was high and tight. Palmer, by the way, his pitch count is 140. Benitez at 254. 4 homers and 17 RBI. Throw to first. Bonds is back. Big Clue has kids at 23, 21, 19, and 15. Yep, Bobby Bonds has played for more teams than Madonna had boyfriends. The 21-year-old not in the sports or radio or what? Pitch to Benitez is a bunt. Dempsey throws it to Dower, covering the bag at first, and that's a good bunt. So Bonds will go to second, and that'll bring up Lowenstein. 240 or 24 400. 5 homers and 17 RBI or Ric Flair marriages. Well, this would be the channel to watch. Our Red Sox fan, though, probably might be more entertaining for him. We really do try to keep this to nuts and bolts sports. Pitch to Lowenstein, ball 4. So Bonds at second, Lowenstein on first. Is he trying to be a game? What's he trying to do? Gaming or what? Here's Oliver, 313, 8 homers and 43 RBI. Rough start for Palmer. Pitch to Oliver, runners go. The throw down to third. They got Bonds. So the computer tries a double steal, and they throw out Bonds at third. So Lowenstein is on second, and 2 out for Oliver with a 1-0 count. Palmer deals. Struck him out. So the Rangers run themselves out of trouble. He swung on and missed a 1-2 fastball, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. Half an inning in the books, Texas nothing. The Orioles are about to start game 2. Doc Bennett making his 10th start of the year. He is 5-4 with a 5.10 ERA. He is a flyball fastball pitcher at 86. He has not faced the Orioles. The last time out, we had him. July 6th against the Yankees, and he was lit up like a Christmas tree in Times Square. 2 1/3 innings, 6 hits, 6 runs, all earned. He walked 2 and struck out none. So in 72 1/3 innings, he's allowed 79 hits, 41 runs, all earned. He's allowed 3 homers. He has walked 33 and struck out 26. Here's the lineup for the Orioles in Game 2. Larry Harlow will lead off in center field. Rich Dower at second will bat second. Kenny Singleton in right will go third. Eddie Murray moves back up to cleanup in Game 2. At first, Lee May, the DH in right. Mora in left, not Melvin, will bat sixth. Doug DeCinces will hit seventh in Game 2. At third base, Rick Dempsey behind the plate will catch, obviously, and bat eighth. That's what I was trying to say. And Kiko Garcia at short will bat ninth. Palmer threw 20 pitches in the first. Harlow at 259, 7 homers and 37 RBI. Ground ball to Wills over to first, and that's how Game 2 starts for Baltimore. Lorenzo's grandson is 20, not really a sports fan. He's a musician. It's always fun to watch Gramps. I think that might be more of it. Here's Dower. You never answer my question, Big Clue. What does he want to do on YouTube? 226, a homer, and 19 RBI for Dower. Medic fires, and there's a little number down to Hargrove. Underhanded to the pitcher, covering for the out. 2 away for Singleton at 3:06. 14 homers and 33 RBI. Just to start of game 2 here. Baltimore took the first game 4-0. Singleton. Ground ball, right side, base hit. So a 2-out single for Kenny, and that'll bring up Murray at 293, 15 homers, and 69 RBI. Robbie's not a YouTuber, but plays one on YouTube. Okay. Medic. Ball 4. So Murray draws the walk. 2 on and 2 out for Lee May at 261. 16 homers and 58 RBI. And they're making Medic throw a lot of pitches. Into center, Benitez lines it up to make the catch. So the Orioles leave 2 on. No runs, a hit, and no errors. After 1, coffee time for me, no score. Here's Mike Hargrove, Bavacqua, and Ellis due up for the Rangers. Hargrove at 290, 5 homers and 37 RBI. I know, they don't sell it at Dunkin' Donuts. It's just plain coffee, plain iced coffee. It's a beautiful day here. Was in the low 60s this morning. Here's a ground ball to center field, a base hit. So Hargrove has a hit, and the first one for the Rangers in game 2. Brings up Bavacqua, hitting 163. 1 homer and 12 RBI. See, I drink hot coffee in the winter, not in the summer. Oh, Lorenzo, if you weren't trying to lurk and blow people up, you would have heard me say it 2 or 3 times. But then again, you're going to say I'm berating you again. Only Tommy berates you. And by the way, I love the wig you bought, Tommy. It's fetching. Pitch to Kurt. Struck him out. He got him on a 2-2 on the inside corner on the curve. And there's 1 out for John Ellis, who's at 300. 2 homers and 10 RBI. You thought only Lasorda berated Kingman and Bavacqua? I think a lot of people berated Bavacqua. And the amount of times that Kingman was traded, I can't imagine he was all that well loved either. Pitch to Ellis is in the left center. Harlow comes in and makes the catch. So 2 out for Wills. Bump at 245. 8 homers and 24 RBI. No score, second inning of game 2. 82 degrees. And the wind still blowing in from right center at 14. Pitch to Wills is a ground ball, base hit. Hargrove goes to third. Wills on first. And there's 2 out. And my phone just beeped, so let's see what that is. And my phone rang. Oh, it's because... Oh. Okay. I gotta check that one later. So what? Why did my phone do that? This break in the immersion sponsored by. Okay. So 2 out. First and third for Campaneris, who's at 234, 2 homers and 33 RBI. Runners on the corners. Campaneris, ground ball to DeCinces across the way to Murray. Should be in time. It is. So no runs, 2 hits, and no errors after an inning and a half. Texas nothing, Baltimore nothing. So Anders Mora, DeCinces, and Dempsey. Mora at 183, 5 homers and 9 RBI. Lorenzo says it's brutal out here. I wish I could just sit in a nice ballpark and eat a Dodger dog by Farmer John. But instead, I'm in outer space, dodging hostile fire. Like I said, Robbie, I really haven't played in 6 weeks. You can't fire on a ship that's not out in space. Pitch to Mora, struck him out on a 2-2 curve. So that's the first for Doc. It is a massive multiplayer online role-playing game that encourages you to be as nasty as you can. I'm not sure where I am. I'm in a peaceful part of the galaxy that is not at war. The last time I looked. 261 for DeCinces, 15 homers and 47 RBI. In their left, Lowenstein battles it and drops it. DeCinces going into second. And that's an E7. So again, the Rangers made 3 errors in game 1. And a boo-boo here in game 2. So Dempsey at 225, 5 homers and 28 RBI. Pitch to Dempsey. Ground ball to second. Wills comes in. Base of the grass. Over to Hargrove. They got him. And DeCinces moved to third. Yeah, well, you'd have to go to war with some other corporation to do it. Here's Garcia. 289, no homers, and 11 RBI. I probably won't go back at this point. What planet did Earth? Garcia at 289, 11, no homers, and 11 RBI. Pitch to Kiko is in the left field. Back goes Lowenstein. He'll make the catch on the track, and that will retire the side. No runs, an error, and 1 left on. Both teams have stranded 3 in game 2. No score. Yes. Bonds at 248. He walked his first time up. Second time through the lineup. Palmer threw 43 pitches to get 9 batters. That's a lot. 2 innings, 2 hits, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts. So deuce is wild for Palmer as we start the top of the third. Base hit left field. Mora will pick it up. Bonds is going for 2. That went all the way to the wall, and Texas has a runner in scoring position. For Benitez, had a sac bunt his first time up. Palmer delivers, and there's a ground ball to third. Looks Bonds back to second. Over to Murray for the out. 1 away. John Lowenstein walked his first time up. The wind now howling in from right center at 17. You can smell those SK dogs from right field. Ball 4. So the fastball up and in on the full count, and Palmer kicks himself. He's walked 3 and struck out 2. Oliver, one of those strikeouts. He's 0 for 1. And that's popped up. Dempsey to the base of the wall, makes the catch. 2 out. So Hargrove has a single. Oh, Jamie used to like the hot half smokes. That sounds good. Is that like a mini-sized kielbasa? Pitch to Hargrove. Runners go. Ground ball to third. DeCinces across the way to Murray. And they turn it, and they retire the side. The Rangers have left 5 on through 3. No runs, a hit, no errors. After 2.5, it's Texas and Baltimore scoreless. So, though they always played in Arlington. Well, they played in Washington in the 60s. But once they moved, they were always in Arlington. The old Turnpike Stadium. And then they built the ballpark in Arlington. And when we ever get the season started, it'll be a Globe Life Park. Dallas and Fort Worth both had AAA teams. both cities had big airports. And they had to soothe Dallas's ego when they built DFW pretty much near Fort Worth. Harlow 0 for 1. There's a ground ball to Hargrove, and that will be a 1 away. Globe Life Field. Anyway, Bennett threw 10 batters, 2 1/3 innings, 49 pitches. A hit, a walk, and a strikeout. Dower is 0 for 1. Bennett deals. Campaneris with the matched hits over to first for the out. Palmer was very hated in Texas because they call the Ranger Stadium a AAA ballpark. It was a AAA ballpark. It was the equivalent of Schaefer Stadium in New England. It was all benches. And they couldn't really play in the daytime because there was no shade. Between that, County Stadium in Milwaukee, of course, Memorial Stadium in Baltimore was a retrofitted minor league park. And certainly so was the Met in Minneapolis, Bloomington. Singleton, by the way, has a Singleton. He's 1 for 1. Pitch to Kenny is a liner to right. Bonds is there. And that's the inning. After 3, Texas nothing, Baltimore nothing. I don't think Dallas Rangers or Fort Worth Rangers would have worked because that's a name, obviously, Robbie knows. It's the state police. You're a Texas Ranger. And so it really kind of fits. Bavacqua, Ellis, and Wills here in the 4th. Palmer, 3 hits through 3. Pitch to Kurt, and there's a base hit right center field. Bavacqua will round first and hold. And there is the 4th hit for the Rangers. John Ellis is 0 for 1. Palmer. Oh, I'm sure the city of Arlington gave Bob Short a sweetheart deal to move. Pitch to Ellis is a ground ball up the middle. Garcia to Dower for 1. Over to Murray. Do they turn it? Do they turn it? Yes, they do. So 2 out on the 6-4-3. Short would have gone anywhere. The Senators were in debt, competing with the much superior Orioles for that market, and not really close to a playoff team. They only had one .500 season in the expansion era. That was Ted Williams' first as a manager in '69. Bump. Singled his first time up. 2 out. There's another base hit left side. Mora will field it. Yes, kind of like Washington in general. If the Senators had been run more competently, they wouldn't have been so much in debt. You can say that for a lot of things in Washington, Big Clue. Here's Campaneris. He's 0 for 1. Palmer delivers. There's a fly ball to right. Singleton is there. And that will retire the side. No runs, 2 hits. They leave a runner on after 3.5. No score. So Murray, May, and Mora to face Medicare. Short had a good stadium in Washington. He very seldom does feel sympathetic for the ownership of sports teams. The Senators went through a series of owners in the 10 years there, and they made a lot of trades, bad trades, as Jamie said. They could have had Nolan Ryan. They could have had Craig Nettles. That '69 team was a good team. No one was going to get past Baltimore that year. Murray walked his first time up, popped up behind the plate. Ellis to the screen, and that should be out of play. It is. 0-2 the count. So they had a relatively new stadium in Washington. That wasn't the issue. The pitch. Ground ball, base hit right side. And so Murray has a second hit. They did not have a good radio television deal, even for the time. And if they hadn't gone into the Dallas-Fort Worth area, I'm sure that Mr. Finley would have done it. Even after the move to Oakland. There was an established team that was going into DFW. And yes, Jeffrey Loria, Major League Baseball, has historically done a very poor job at vetting ownership groups. CBS running the Yankees, for example. Ellis and Bennett get together. May hits this one into shallow infield. Campaneris makes the catch, one away. And that's the kicker for the original Senators. They left to go to Minneapolis or Bloomington, and then later won the World Series with that core of players. Killebrew, Bobby Allison, Camilo Pascual, Jim Cott. Bora 0 for 1 with a strikeout. 1 out. And into left field, Lowenstein makes the catch. Murray will go back. Yep. Well, I think in Miami's case, they wanted the name of Jeter. And that has not gone well so far. Here's DeCinces. He's 0 for 1. George W. Bush was part of that good ownership in Texas before he ran for governor. And wasn't he the one that secured the funding for the original ballpark at Arlington? Yeah, before Hicks bought the team. Pitch to DeCinces, ground ball to Bavacqua over to first, and that should retire the side. It does. No runs, a hit, no errors. We played 4 in game 2, scoreless in Baltimore. And Hicks, of course, pretty much went bankrupt. That did not end well. But yes, G.W. Bush was the person most responsible for the first Globe Life. Bobby Bonds, Juan Benitez, and John Lowenstein, 18 batters deep for Palmer through 4. 73 pitches, 4 innings, 5 hits, no runs, 3 walks, and 2 strikeouts. Yes. And when it opened, it was one of the game's gems, along with Jacobs Field and Camden Yards. Skydome, of course, or Rogers Field now, was considered top of the line until Camden Yards opened. Mr. Bush was also one of the few owners opposing the owner's anti-labor position heading into 1994. Popped up Dower, 1 out for Benitez, who was 0 for 1. Palmer delivers, and there's a fly ball, left center field. Harlow is there, 2 out. I like Comerica Park. When they talked about it in Boston, would they rebuild Fenway or build a new stadium and keep it Fenway Light? I liked what they did with Comerica. It's its own unique park. It's not Tiger Stadium, but it's its own unique place. Lowenstein has walked twice and strikes out this time. Palmer got him on a 1-2 at the belt. Nothing across. We're halfway home here in game 2. Texas and Baltimore are matching bagels, 0-0. They could have remodeled it. They ended up remodeling Fenway. We do lose something, but as team wins championships, it's all about the memories I think you have there. I mean, we lost the form in Montreal. Dempsey, by the way, 0 for 1. And they haven't been successful at the Bell Center. But I guarantee you, if Montreal ever wins a Stanley Cup, the Bell Center will be starting to become as beloved as the Forum. And yeah, some stadiums just seem so attached to the team. Absolutely. Pitch to Dempsey is a ground ball to third. Bavacqua over to Hargrove. 1 out. Kiko Garcia is 0 for 1. 2 hits for the Orioles here in game 2. The Rangers have 5. Texas has left 6 on, the Orioles 4. Texas plays for a bunt, not going to do it. Pitch to Kiko is a base hit right center field. He'll round first. He will hold at first. And that brings up Harlow. So through 18 batters, Bennett, 4 1/3 innings, 77 pitches, 3 hits, a walk and a strikeout. And Harlow's 0 for 2. Well, Riverfront was so sterile. This one's been the pitcher's duel for sure. Wind's now blowing in at 17 in the right. 79 degrees, so if you've stayed this long, it's starting to get comfortable. Pitch to Harlow. Could be 2. Campaneris takes it to the bag himself for 1. No throw to first. So 2 out for Dower, who's 0 for 2. Texas, by the way, has left 6 on, Baltimore 4. Orioles won the first game 4-0. Base hit right side. Going to go all the way to the wall. Dower's going for second. The throw not in time. So the Orioles have 2 on and 2 out for Kenny Singleton, who is 1 for 2. Here's the pitch. Struck him out. Bennett got him on a 2-2 fastball for strike 3. No runs, 2 hits, and no errors. After 5, they've both left 6 on. Texas nothing, Baltimore nothing. I'm taking a drink. Oliver, Hargrove, and Bavacqua coming up for the Rangers. Burp, drink. So Oliver, 0 for 2 with a strikeout. And there's no way in purgatory they put 4 Splenda in that coffee. So Palmer starting the 6th. Both teams throwing shutouts. Base hit, right center field. Oliver will hold at first. 6th hit for the Rangers. Now bring up Hargrove, who is singled. Is 1 for 2. Line drive, Murray's there, and Oliver knew better than to move. That was a laser shot, and Oliver went, nope. 1 away for Bavacqua, who singled and struck out. He's 1 for 2. Got him! Palmer got him on an 0-2. At 85, that's his 4th, and 2 out for John Ellis, who's grounded into a double play. He's 0 for 2. There goes Oliver. The throw down to Dower, and the side is retired. So no runs, 1 hit. They don't strand anybody. Another boo-boo by the Rangers. We go to the bottom of the 6th in a scoreless tie. So Murray, May, and Mora. Eddie has singled and walked. He's 1 for 1. Pitch to Eddie. Popped up. Right side. Wills. 1 out for Lee May, who is 0 for 2. Up. Lorenzo just died in space. Now he goes back to the gulag and back in the arms of his friend Tommy. Lee May, by the way, is 0 for 2. Yeah, I'm surprised that they didn't build a retractable roof stadium in the 90s. Remember, Skydome was, and Montreal's was supposed to be. Oh, her name is Frank now? Pitch to May, ball 4. So 1 out, second walk given up by Bennett. Here's Mora, who was 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Pitch. Struck him out. Got him again. A 1-2 fastball in there at the knees. So 2 outs here in the 6th for DeCinces, who's 0 for 2. Throw to first. May is back. Oh, I bet. The old stadium used to get so hot the steel frame used to creak as it expanded. That's not too scary. Holy smickers. DeCinces. Gonna hit and run. Runner goes. The throw goes into center field, and May's on third. So Texas pitched out, and May went busting down on a hit and run. The throw got away from Wills, and Beniquez will pick it up, so May is on third. So they distract her long enough to do it. And so now to Sensei, if he can get a base hit, can put a run on the board. Ground ball to Vivacqua. Over to first. Sorry, Charlie, no runs. No hits and one error. We go to the seventh, no score. Well, at least it's cooperating. We're not having a 13-12 game. It was a balk runner. Stop it. John Ellis is 0 for 2. He's grounded into a double play. Struck him out. That's 5 for Palmer. Ellis looked at an 0-2 off-speed pitch, 1 out. Here's Wills. Bump his single twice. And he drags one down there. Palmer picks it up and throws to Murray, but that's not even going to be close. So Wills gets the hit. The 7th for Texas. They've had 2 errors, and they've stranded 6. The Orioles have 4 hits and left 7 on. Campaneris is 0 for 2. Here's the pitch. Burt drops one down. Dempsey to Dower covering. Wills goes to second. Texas playing small ball. But there's 2 out for Bobby Bonds, who has doubled. He's 1 for 2. He's also drawn a walk. So 27 batters deep for Palmer. 106 pitches. 6 2/3 innings, 7 hits. He's walked 3 and struck out 5. We're cutting this one off at 1:30 regardless, because the wifey's got to go to work. So if we run past 1:30, we'll just tape the rest of it and show it at its conclusion once I post this one. Somewhere in this world, there are some professional athletes playing a PC game where they simulate the lives of nerds like us. It's called The Sims. Pitch to Bonds. Struck him out. Palmer got him. No runs, no 1 hit, no error. Stretch time, no score. So Dempsey, Garcia, and Hilo to face Bennett here in the bottom of the 7th. And no, not many games go scoreless in Arlington. That ball flies down there in the summertime. Dempsey is 0 for 2. Medic starts the bottom of the 7th. Fly ball to left. Lowenstein makes the catch. 1 out for Kiko Garcia. Kiko singled. He's 1 for 2. Playing in for the bunt. Drags one down to Hargrove. Mike can't play it. Garcia's going for 2. He's there. It got under his glove, and that's a 2-base error. Always the ball flies in the summertime, Mark. Got a pitching change. Reggie Cleveland coming in. So they don't give Medic any support whatsoever. Cleveland is 4-3 with 8 saves. Excuse me. An ERA of .88. This is his 5th appearance against Baltimore. 6 2/3 innings, 3 hits. He has a save. He has walked 1 and struck out 7. He went against the Red Sox, his old teammates, on the 14th. So last night, or yesterday afternoon rather, 2/3 of an inning, 1 hit. So 41 innings, 28 hits, 2 homers, 7 runs, 4 earned. He walked 6 and struck out 27. He is an extreme ground ball pitcher at 89. So the go-ahead run on second for Harlow, who's 0 for 3. Cleveland, that wind is now howling in at 26. Old Glory has more starch in it than an old man at the Viagra shop. Pitch to Harlow. Gets away from Ellis, and Garcia moves to third. So the count 1-2, and the first run of the game stands 90 feet away. Pitch to Harlow. Struck him out. He got him on a 1-2, and here's Dower. Wow, he's 1 for 3 with a double. I'm saying that Old Glory is stretched out. That's all I'm saying. Dirty-minded Lorenzo. So 2 out for Dower, who's 1 for 3 with a double. Cleveland rocks and fires. Base hit right side. Garcia will score. Dower holds with a single, and the Orioles draw the first run of the ball game 1-0. With 2 out in the bottom of the 7th inning. So that brings up Singleton, 1 for 3 with a strikeout. I'm surprised at sweep. You know, it's like the 5th time I've played the Rangers, and I've yet to win with them. But the Orioles are tough customers. Pitch to Singleton. Into right center field. Back goes Bonds. To the wall. He makes the catch. And that will retire the side. 1 run on 1 hit and 1 error. Yep, Weaver said his novenas today. We go to the 8th. 1-0 Baltimore. Benitez is 0 for 2. Lowenstein and Oliver to face Palmer, who now has the fatigue warning. Both starters pitched well. Texas has not scored in 16 innings. Benitez, little number down to Murray, underhands it to Palmer. He's in his jockey shorts, 1 out. For Lowenstein, who has walked twice and struck out, he's 0 for 1. Yep, Michigan man, they've made 6 errors in 2 games and not scored a run. That is not a recipe for success. Base hit left field. Harlow will pick it up in left center, and the Rangers have their 8th hit. Oliver has struck out. He's 1 for 3. Full pack warming up in the pen for Baltimore. Palmer. Where goes Lowenstein. There was a hit and run, and that's a ground ball foul, third base side. Royals, Yankees, noon Eastern tomorrow, 9 Pacific. And we'll have another doubleheader for you late next week. We got 3 now scheduled for July. Pitch to Oliver. Base hit right side. Lowenstein will hold at second. He's going to go for third. They're going to test Harlow's arm. Harlow with a strike to third. DeCinces puts on the tag. They got him. They got him. They tested Harlow's arm. It's a 5. And Harlow just threw a bullet down to third. And DeCinces put on the perfect tag. So Texas keeps running out of their own chances. And so Oliver on first, and 2 out for Hargrove. So Jim Palmer set a novena on the mound and got one. Pitch to Mike. Ground ball to Garcia over to first, and the Rangers shoot themselves in the foot again. No runs, 2 hits. They leave a runner on. We go to the bottom of the 8th. 1-0 Baltimore. And that win now in right center is at 26. Murray, 1 for 2. May and Moore to follow. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Pitch to Murray. Base hit right side. Gets in front of Bonds, and Murray's on with the 6th hit for the Birdies. Says it's cloudy. Here's May. He's 0 for 2. He has stolen a base, his 4th, and drew his 15th walk. Cleveland rocks. And that's a balk. That's a balk on an 0-2 pitch. And so Murray goes to second. May has an 0-2 count against him. The 0-2. Base hit left field. Murray rounds third. He will hold. That was shallow, and Lowenstein made a good pickup on that. Murray on third, May on first for Mora, who was struck out twice. He's 0 for 3. Yep, that's what happens on a balk. And now, kind of like a dress on cotillion night, it's all coming undone for Texas. Pitch to Mora, to Campaneris, run scores, throw to Wills, and nobody's out. The throw went into right field. Campaneris underhanded it to Willis, and it goes into right field. It's 2-0 Baltimore. And that'll bring up the Sensei, who is 0 for 3. And that's the 4th error for the Rangers in the ball game. You can buy the time travel tennis and get the set that you want and play it forever. If you're a huge tennis fan, the big deal's worth it. But 20 years of action PC, oh yeah, you'd get a ton of mileage out of that. Here's the Sensei. He's 0 for 3. Cleveland is just steaming on the mound. Ellis tries to calm him down. DeCinces struck him out. He threw that as hard as he could, and DeCinces looked at a 1-2 fastball for the first out. Brings up Dempsey, who's 0 for 3. Bavacqua, Ellis, and Wills for Texas in the 9th. If you just get the one set, as Jamie says, you get 64 players. It's not like you can't run at any tournament that you wanted. Pitch to Dempsey. Ground ball. Willis to Campy for 1. Over to Hargrove. And that is it 2? Yes. Yes, it is. But the Orioles get a huge insurance run. 1 run, 2 hits, and a 4th Texas error. To the 9th we go. 2-0 Baltimore. Yeah. Worth every penny, Big Clue. Worth every penny if you like tennis. But I think I told you, but they don't go really on sale till Christmas. Bavacqua, 1 for 3. He has singled and struck out twice. Palmer, trying to go the complete game. Bavacqua, into left center field. Harlow, 1 out. So the Rangers, man, this is one that they'll talk about the rest of the years. John Ellis, let's see if they pinch hit for him. He struck out and grunted into a double play. They do not. Right back to Palmer, 2 out. That's what my wife says. If for the tennis game, it is a shot-by-shot game, but it really, really is well done. Not one I played cards and dice with, but you can play about a 5-set match, going all 5, in about an hour, hour and a half. Bump Wills is 3 for 3. He has singled 3 times. Jim Palmer is looking for win number 11 and a shutout. Yeah, it's fun. Pitch to Wills. Struck him out. The Orioles sweep. Jim Palmer has shut out the Rangers. And the Orioles have a 1-game lead. It wasn't the one hitter that he threw against the Red Sox here on the stream, but a 9-hit shutout. And the Orioles go 52-37. And Jim Palmer, no, not even close. That's going to be Guidry. 9 innings, 9 hits. He walked 3 and struck out 7. He could have thrown 143. Medic, oh, goodness gracious. Texas did not give up an earned run in game 2. 6 1/3, 4 hits, 1 run, unearned. He walked 2 and struck out 3. So Palmer goes to 11-5. And so there you have it. An hour and 45 minutes of high-quality, tight baseball. And so the Orioles lead the Yankees by 1 game. Milwaukee by 1.5 games, and the Red Sox by 7.5. Texas 2 back of Kansas City, tied with California. Chicago 3 back, Minnesota 3.5. We showed you the National League stuff. No changes there. Kansas City and the Yankees, noon tomorrow. That's our next game for you. Support chat tonight around 6:30. And then Dave and I'm going to teach Dave some APA baseball. That's it. That's a doubleheader. Hope you've enjoyed the last hour and 45 minutes. Got to get the wife going to work. The kiddies come back on Monday. She's going to be happy. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate every single one of you. Talk to you later, and of course tomorrow for more baseball. Have a great night, everybody.